Hi everyone, Michael here from Back Alley Bonsai. It's been another toasty week here in Los Angeles with one unexpected day of rain. And June always seems like a good time to start working on succulents. So today I'm going to be working on some crassulas. First up here is going to be this Crassula Ovata. This one I took as a cutting many years ago off of a much larger plant. That larger plant was very important to someone who's very close to me. They have since passed away. This cutting, though, is kind of the remainder of that particular plant. That plant also ultimately died off, but this plant is doing very well, and it has a lot of sentimental value to me. So I'll bring you in close and let you take a look at some of the things I like about this particular plant. The first thing I want to look at is the root base on this one, which is starting to look really nice. It's got this nice flaring root off to the side. It's got a couple more flaring roots that are coming out of it. And around this side, it's got some splits in it. Not sure what those are all about. But we got some more nice flaring roots coming out down here. And these flaring surface roots are not something you usually see in these crassulas, so I'm really happy to see them. Done quite a few repots on it, but that's looking really nice. And last year I did a big trunk chop on it. You can see that right there. And then it has grown out a little bit, and then I chopped it off again at the beginning of the year. And now it has grown in lots of directions and definitely needs some work. So the first thing I'm going to do with this is I'm actually going to go ahead and do a defoliation on it. It's growing really well. I don't have any fear of it dying off from the heat. I'm going to put it into a pretty shady spot while it recovers. And the reason why I'm doing this defoliation is these leaves are so dense and there's so much growth on it that I really don't know what I've got going on with it. So I want to clean it up and take a good look at it. It's also got some really big leaves on it, and by doing these defoliations, that does help it to put out smaller leaves. Okay. Now what I need to do is just take a nice look at it and decide what I want to do next. Yeah, this side definitely is the front, even still. This could be the front if it didn't have these weird splits in it. And over time it might clean up and look okay again. But I can tell right away that this branch that's coming out right here just is not in a good spot for what I want. It does this, you know, it's right in the middle of the trunk line, and that's not good, so that's just got to go. Okay. And the next one here, this is actually a pretty good branch placement for this one. So I think I'm going to keep that. And it's got a pretty good split in the right spot. But I want to encourage it to grow this direction. So I'm going to do some directional pruning. I've got a leaf node right here that grows in these two directions. So I'm going to cut it right there. And then the same thing on this side, I've got a leaf node growing like this, and I think that's pretty good. So I'm going to take that off to there. You can also wire these, but this is really green and I don't want to take any chances with it. Next, we're going to be moving up to these branches right here, and this is actually splitting in three directions. I've got this one, which is kind of my main trunk line. And I've got this one, and then I've got this one that's just kind of coming out this side there in a junction. And if we were to look at this in terms of flow, it kind of comes up and then it shifts over this direction, and then it makes this really abrupt turn in that direction. Whereas these two flow up and away from the main line. So I'm going to go ahead and take this one off as well. And the rest all look pretty good. They're just a little longer than I would like. A little bit more, I'd like a little bit more division. So I think I'm going to take this one here in the middle off to there, and this one that's coming back this direction off there. And this one here, got a node that's growing that direction, so I'm going to take that off right there. And this one, I've got a node that's coming up here, so I'm going to go there. And that is it for my main Crassula. The next one here is one of a pair of cuttings that I took several years ago, and I'm going to be doing several things on this one. You can see I've done a nice big trunk chop on this one once before, and it's grown back up, but I actually need to get it out of this pot, and the reason is this one became a bit of a sale a few years ago and blew off of its shelf, and you can see right there, fell down and cracked, and then it's got a matching crack on this side over here. So this pot is really not long for this world, and at this point I think this plant needs to actually be completely repotted, so I'm going to be doing that. Alright, let's see how well stuck in the pot this thing is. Oh wow, it is in there really tightly. So apparently the cracked pot hasn't harmed it too much. This soil is very old, and I have no idea what the roots look like on this. Oof. Well, there we go. Pretty good looking fibrous roots. And we can just comb these out. Soil still looks pretty good. I can probably reuse quite a bit of it. All right. All right. All right. Pretty good roots on it for a Crassula. I don't see anything to be concerned about. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to take and put that Crassula into this inexpensive pot that I bought off of the internet. Nothing fancy about it. And like I said, I'm actually going to take and replace it with some of the soil that came out of the original. Put its drainage screen back in there. There's nothing wrong with the soil as far as I can tell. It was a little compacted, but let's see if our plant fits in there okay. I can probably get it in there pretty high. Now I'm just going to top it off with some of my own bonsai soil. Tuck it down, make sure it's in the roots okay. It always amazes me how much soil you can get into one of these pots. All right. And now I'm going to basically do the same thing. I'm going to take it around and see if I can figure out what the best angle is on it. And still kind of move this plant around. Smarter guy would have figured out the front before he stuck it in the rectangular pot, but I've never been a smart guy. But I had kind of a feeling about which side I wanted to be the front. And it was that one there. Get on my poking stick again, get this thing stabilized in there again. There we go. So now I need to go around looking for flow lines on this. So there's our front. I like that one. It's got a nice upward movement. This branch comes forward, which I like. It's a little bit too dominant, but that's okay. I can cut it back and regrow some of this. Problem that I see right away though is these two branches, which are sort of competing with the front. So I'm actually just going to take them off completely. This gives us more vision into the main line. I think this branch actually, as much as I like it, may be too thick. It's the same thickness as this branch over here, which I think of this as my main trunk line. So I'm actually going to cut it way back to here. And this one I'm actually going to cut back to here. And this last one, I'm going to take off to there. And there we go. A little spider web on it there. And now I have nothing left but one leaf and a few branches. But there you go. That's bonsai. But I think it's going to look pretty good. Just getting going. And this is mostly just a decorative plant. Just one that I'm having fun with. And next on the bench is its sister plant, which fell off its shelf a couple of days ago and completely cracked out of its pot. And you can see it is just an absolute top heavy sail and needs to be adjusted. And for this one, I'm going to be using this white pot. It's a little atypical, but again, it's just an accent plant more than anything else. And I think it really stands out quite a lot. So first we're going to go ahead and comb out the roots. So first I need to go through and comb out the roots. We can see the drainage screen from the old pot right there, and just start combing them out there. No really major roots on this one yet, but lots of healthy fibrous ones. You can see there's the original cut points. Now I need to figure out what's going to be the front on this one. It's probably either going to be something like that or like that. It's a little cleaner. I think maybe there. Or maybe there. I think it's going to be there. And put our screen back in the pot. Start filling it up with soil. Just going to mound it up in the middle. And see if I can get the plant in there. Oh yeah, that's really good. Pretty good fit once it's in there and stabilized. Yeah. It's so top heavy it wants to flop backwards. Oof. Before I can even let this thing go, I have to take some of the growth off of it. Holy cow. There we go. Now, all I'm going to do is similar to the last couple, go around and look for basic flow lines on it and see what's interfering with what. And the first thing that I see that is a problem is this big central line right here. This is one giant rocket of a branch, and you can see it a little bit better from there, and it's just going straight up. No movement, no branching, nothing going on with it. So unfortunately, I'm just gonna have to take it way back to, I think, there, because there's a couple of sections left on that one. And then this branch back here, I'm going to cut way back as well. Just bringing it around and taking a look at it from the front. A little bit better of a twist here. I'm a little bit busy. I'm going to take that off. This is also getting a little bit longer than I would like. It's in an okay spot. It's just long. This one I'm just going to take back a little bit. It's looking pretty good. And this one I'm going to do some directional pruning on and take it back to there. And this one here, take it back to there. And this one, take it back to there. We'll do to there. There's a little one. It's a little soon for my liking. I'll take that one off. And this one I'll take to there. This one I will take off here. And there. I'm not sure about this branch. This branch is also very long and straight without any real movement to it. But I think for now I'm going to leave it on there. I can always take it off later. But that's it. Well, that is it for my June Crassula pruning, everybody. As always, thank you for joining me here at Back Alley Bonsai, and have yourselves a wonderful day.